What's up guys, welcome back to another episode of creating your roleplay Samp server Mechka with you. In today's episode I'll show you how to make a bank system like withdraw money, deposit money, all of that. As you can see in this preview, this is the system that I'll show you how to make in this episode. First thing, go into your database. In the structure section we are gonna add one column. We're gonna name it bank, and the other attributes can be left as they are. Click save. Now open your script. Inside the script, in the player info enum, add a pbank. You can also name it pbank money, whatever, but I'll just name it pbank. If you want, when saving the player in here, we can put some money inside the player's bank, so just do that and add here like maybe $1000. Inside the save player, in the update function, also we need to update the bank. So after the XP I'm gonna type in bank equals to %d, and at the end before the SID I'm gonna add player info, player ID, bank, and a comma. And here we can put it to zeros to reset it. Player ID bank equals to 0. Also, when loading the account we need to put it in, so cash, we can just duplicate this line, change to bank and to bank. Now go to on player key. Here we'll check if a player enters a building. So on this site, interior IDs, you can check some already created interiors by the default GTA San Andreas. We can copy these coordinates and use them for our bank interior. So we can use when the player presses the end key after the for loop, we can check if is player in range of point, player ID 3.0, and we'll need some coordinates here. I'll check if I can find some. If he's at the entrance of the bank, we'll set the player position of the player ID to these coordinates that we copied from the site, and we can set the player interior to 1. I think it's 0 here, so yeah, to 0, and set the player camera set camera behind player. So let me check if I can find some coordinates for the entrance of the bank, or we'll go inside the game and save some coordinates and change this point to lowercase. I couldn't find any coordinates, so I start up the server and we're gonna go to the bank, at least where I would like the bank to be. For this tutorial, I'll make the entrance here, save bank entrance. Alright, so inside the San Andreas user files and Samp, you have saved positions file, and we're gonna copy these coordinates and paste them in here, and the player ID here needs to be lowercase. So put the if statement before the for loop and add a return 1. We do this because if the for loop is first, it's gonna loop through all the rents and see if we are near our rent, and then it's gonna get to this part, and it's gonna take a long time and it's not optimized well. But if we do this, we're gonna check if the player is in near the bank entrance. If he is, we're gonna set the player position to the bank, and we're gonna set the interior, everything, and we are gonna return 1. This is you have to have this return 1 so it stops this part of the code from executing. Also, we can add a pickup at this place, so go on game mode init, and wherever you like, we can do it here, create pickup 1312, let's say, I don't know, type 1, the coordinates, those and that. So just a pickup to see if the coordinates are right. Okay, I've set the pickup, but the idea of the pickup is a billboard, so it looks funny. So now if we click N, we should get into the bank. As you can see, we did get inside the bank. So the entrance is here, but I don't like that. I'm gonna save a position here. So come here wherever you like, position like this, save bank inside, for example. Now I'm gonna stand here and save, for example, let's say withdraw, here deposit, and here maybe we can check the balance of our account. And for the future, we can save here the credit card location, so you can come here, make a credit card and everything. So I think that's it. So let's go back into our script. Now we have these coordinates. So on player key, we're gonna copy these coordinates and replace them with these ones here. Else if is player in range of point, player ID 3.0, and paste in these coordinates. So these coordinates that we set the player's position to previously. We can copy this part of the code and copy these coordinates. This is the entrance of the bank, and paste it to the set player position. So this is the exit of the bank. The player interior, let it at 0, because the 0 interior is the default one. Sometimes we change the interior ID, sometimes we don't. Now let's go back on game mode init and set some real pickup ID. So here you can see some pickup IDs and their icons. We can use this money like to reference the bank. Personally I will use that. Replace it here, and we can add a 3D text. So create 3D text label. The text can be 1AC42B, bank, new line, white, and N. This represents to enter, you have to press N. the color is -1, and the coordinates are this one up here. You can just copy and paste it. The draw distance can be 5.0, the virtual world is 0, and the test or line of sight is 0. So now we have those two things. We need to create them also inside the bank to the deposit, balance, and credit card and withdraw places. So we can copy these two parts and paste them. For this one, for those, I'm gonna use this ID, replace it here, and let's get the coordinates. So for the withdraw, these are the coordinates. Put it here and put it in here, and change the bank to withdraw. Copy this 3 more times. So deposit, balance, and credit card. And I'm gonna put these ones to the letter Y. Just be sure not to change the bank one. So these are going to be interacted with the letter I. I meant Y. So now let's change the coordinates for them. For the deposit one, these are the coordinates. For the balance, these are the coordinates. And the credit card, these are the coordinates. For the pickup and everything to be in one line, I'm gonna copy this point here and I'm gonna put it for everything like this. So these are going to be in a perfect line. So now let's code the other part. We'll need dialogues. So let's define some dialogues. Define dialog. So we'll define dialog bank withdraw 8, and define dialog bank deposit 9. Define dialog bank balance 10. On player key, when the Y key is pressed, if is player in a range of point, player ID 3 point or 2.0, because it's really compact in there. So let's copy the withdraw coordinates, paste it in here, and remove the semicolon. So this is going to be the withdraw. Show player dialog to the player ID, dialog bank withdraw, dialog style input withdraw, enter the amount of money you want to withdraw. Or cancel. So this dialog will show the player to enter a amount of money he wants to withdraw from his bank account. Now let's do that for the other. So this is going to be the deposit one, and for the final balance, Here, instead of the dialog style input, is going to be a message box, and we're gonna need a new string and format it. So we can save 1AC42B. This will be the player's name, new line, one AC42B, for example, money, bank money. That's going to be the amount, and for example, like one AC42B credit. For now, it's gonna be 0 because we don't have nor the credit system nor the credit card system, so that will be made in some future episodes. Get name of the player ID and player info, player ID, bank. Here in type the string for the player key state change. This is it. Now we need to go on dialog. So if the case is dialog withdraw, if he doesn't respond, we return 1. If he does respond, we can make a new amount to be equal to string val of the input text. This line will convert the input text from the string to a number. So now we can check if the amount is less than 0. We can do, or we can make it an absolute value, but I will make it if if it's less than 0, we're gonna return an error message to the player ID that invalid amount. Else if the amount is greater than the player's info, player ID, bank, we're gonna return error message, player ID, you don't have enough money inside, no, you don't have that amount inside the bank. If he does have the money inside the bank, and if the amount isn't below 0, we can give him the money. So we're gonna subtract from the player info, player ID, bank, we're gonna subtract the amount, and we're gonna give money to the player ID amount. We can save the player. This script will save the player, so we don't need to save the player, because in give money we have save player function. We can tell the player send client message player ID -1, or we can use the info message. I always forgot to use this. You've successfully withdrawn money from the bank. If you want, you can make a new string, then format it and tell how much money he withdrew, but I'm too lazy for that. Now we can copy this part, and we need to change this dialog bank withdraw. This one dialog a bank deposit. The same principle is used, but instead of the amount, we're gonna get the P money of the player. Yeah, you don't have that amount of money on you, of money inside the bank. We can change it for like that. So inside of the bank, we are gonna increment, we are gonna add the amount, and we're gonna take the money from the player. You've successfully deposited, and here I think it's withdrawed. I don't know. English isn't my first language, as you can see. So that's all of it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you have any problems, errors, make sure to check the Discord server, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, guys.